And the introductions here in Milwaukee between the 14-seed Bisons and the 3-seed Cyclones. We welcome in the fourth member of our crew and say good afternoon to Lauren Shahadi.
Kevin, you were loving earlier on J.O. This is his first ever college basketball game in the state of Wisconsin. Went to high school just 50 minutes from where we're standing right now at Sheboygan Lutheran. I spoke to Jacob yesterday. He said in the halls and gym of that high school, I became a man and a ball player. He's still in a text chain with his former teammates. I called his high school coach, Nick Verhagen. He said J.O. was a gentle, unassuming kid. He was quiet. He was soft-spoken. He was kind to everyone. Unless you were his opponent, he would dunk on you at will. I don't think much has changed from then, Kevin.
I don't think so. He began at Valparaiso, and now he's playing for Lipscomb. And there is their coach, Lenny Acuff, in his sixth season, his first NCAA tournament. He was the ASUN Coach of the Year. You look at the starting five. Pruitt is one to watch, the point guard, the senior for the Bisons. And then you see Nate Heise, who's in there, and he's taken the place of the injured Keyshawn Gilbert. But that's their group, and they've got one of the best coaches in college football, T.J. Otzelberger, who is in his fourth season. He's won 68% of his games, and he again has taken this team to the NCAA tournament.
Yeah, he has, and they're a perennial favorite in this tournament, especially to get. He's been to two of the last three Sweet 16s. They're great at both ends of the floor, as we said earlier, have really stepped up on the offensive end. This team is going to be a threat.
Wonderful officiating crew this afternoon. Bert Smith, who's officiating two Final Fours, his 22nd NCAA tournament. Tim Clockerty in his 21st tournament. And Mark Schnurr in his 9th. And away we go in Milwaukee. And Lipsy will control for the Cyclones.
And Lipscomb starts in the man-to-man. It'll be interesting to see how they match up.
Momcilovic outside. Nice rebound. Pulled down by Heise. And back to Jackson, where they got a lot of length and strength on that line. Lipsy sneaking through for two.
Well, that's going to be the problem. Lipscomb was a good defensive rebounding team all year, Dan, but now you're leveling up, playing a much bigger opponent, and they give up an offensive rebound on the first miss of the game.
Yeah, I don't think they can afford to give Iowa State many extra possessions. It's going to be hard enough as it is.
Will Pruitt has it here. Anderson and off to Charlie Williams as they work it around. Shot clock at 5. Time running out. Williams has got it. He's got to fire the three. Momcilovic with a rebound.
They're a good three-point shooting team, but you don't want to be rushing them at the end of the shot clock. That's that Iowa State defense you talked about, Stan.
Yeah, those are not the threes that you hope you're going to get. You want to get open ones, but that will not be easy.
Jefferson on the wing. Lipsy on top. He's from Ames, Iowa. The kid with the ball here. He's a junior. Went to Ames High School. Got a screen. Fires the three. Rebound pulled down by Arnautovic. And they come with Pruitt. And he meets the defense and back on top. Working it around. They finish with a record of 25-9. The Bisons did. 14-4 in the Atlantic Sun.
They had a really good season, and I think they want to get down the court really quickly. I'm not sure they want to play against this set defense every time.
No, absolutely right. The more they can get out in transition, the happier Lenny Acuff will be.
Anderson and his shot block. Williams tries to corral it. Shot clock violation.
Well, look, 2 possessions, Dan, and 2 very difficult shots at the end of the shot clock. Lipscomb, this is the best defense they have played all year.
And this is a tremendous... It's a program with tremendous history, even though they haven't been in Division I all that long. But NAIA, they had remarkable success.
They certainly did. They're led by their athletic director, Philip Hutchinson, one of the greatest NAIA players ever, graduated with over 4,000 points.
Pruitt is going to pick up the foul. He was on top with just another couple of minutes gone here. Lauren?
I was just looking around the court for Lipscomb right now, Kevin. There's 20 years of D1 experience on the floor. Will Pruitt, Powell, Joe, J.O., and Charlie. 20 years combined, including this season. Says a lot about the program, even more about the coach.
It does indeed, as Lipsy finds 2 inside, careening off bodies and getting it to drop.
And Lipsy's a guy who can beat you out on the perimeter. He's quick, he's strong.
Powell Working through traffic. Williams with a three. And the rebound pulled down by Josh Jefferson.
Well, this is what they like, when Jefferson rebounds the ball and can get out and handle in transition.
He is a big player, and there's a reason why, and we'll get into that. Watch live men's games on your computer, phone, tablet, or streaming device with NCAA March Madness Live. Download now. Jefferson's dad played in the NFL, and the size carried over.
That certainly did, and he's got brothers who played Division I college football. Didn't take Curtis Jones long, Dan. What was he in the game? 3 seconds, and he gets his first bucket. The #1 bench scorer in America. Not many guys
Good pass.
off the bench, Dan, are first-team all-conference in the Big 12.
Well, he scored 22 points in 5 minutes in their game in the Big 12 tournament.
Jefferson again. And they got him in a straight jacket, and he kicks it out. Lipsy. Chatfield. Lipsy again. Powell there to meet him defensively. Shot clock down to 5. Behind the back. Free to fire. The three way off that time by Brandon Chatfield. And here comes Pruitt. First NCAA tournament appearance in 7 years. Pass thrown away. Williams couldn't get it. Back to the Cyclones.
Well, Jones just comes right down the middle. That wasn't even very hard. And when Jones comes into the game, you got to find him, because you know he's going to shoot it.
Yeah, but on the other side, that's Lipscomb basketball. Get the ball to Charlie Williams, who's a great passer, an excellent back cut there. And now Lipscomb's going to go some 2-3 zone here. They don't play a lot of zone, but again, you're leveling up and playing better opponents. And so you can't match up as easily as you can in your own league.
Kelderman is in. Jefferson down low. Bumping into Williams.
Part of the problem with playing the zone, though, they had some success double teaming those big guys. And it's going to be harder to bring a double team out of the zone. Their problem is, as long as Iowa State is scoring, it's hard for them to get out and run. And it'd be much easier in transition than against this defense.
Pruitt facing a lot of length. Here's Anderson, who played at Furman. Outside Powell, 3.
Well, those are the looks Lipscomb can get. Great crossover there by Anderson, and Iowa State will commit 2 defenders to the ball. You can get some drive and kick threes, and they knocked that one down.
In the corner, that's a 3, and down the hatch it goes. Momcilovic.
Yeah, Momcilovic shooting about 44% from 3 over the 5 games before this coming in. He was struggling before, but has really gotten it going again.
Powell, they cough it up with the turnover. And the Cyclones on top by 11. With the penetration, Powell knocks it out with a nice 3. Then Iowa State. Jones. Momcilovic from the corner. 6-point lead, Iowa State. Let's now take a look at advanced stats presented by Invesco QQQ.
Well, look, this is what Iowa State does. They force turnovers. They get out in transition, almost 20 points a game. Lipscomb's a team who doesn't usually turn the ball over, Dan, 9.5 times a game, but 3 already today. And Iowa State's already scored 4 points off of turnovers. Lipscomb cannot afford that if they're going to stay in this game.
No, the giving up offensive rebounds, turning the ball over is not a formula for success for Lipscomb.
Little screen there for Heisey. Tries to work inside. Out for Jefferson, 3. Powell got a hand on it and retrieved by the Bisons, the Atlantic Sun tournament champions. The 14 seed coming in. Powell will drive, and a floater on the fly. A little bit short, and retrieved offensively. Pruitt in the corner, Anderson on top. Like we were saying before, this is the first tournament appearance in 7 years for this program.
And the last time they were there, 2018, the guy who's now coaching their crosstown rival, Casey Alexander, was there. Powell knocks down another 3.
Well, Powell is a very good shooter.
Well, that's their chance. Take care of the ball and make some threes.
Jones missing. Pruitt rebounding. Anderson on the move. Bisons have won 6 straight and 11 of 12. Ognacevic gets it outside to Powell.
So far, Iowa State's doing a really good job getting out on those threes in transition.
Well, and Ognacevic doesn't even have a shot yet.
Shot clock at 4. Pruitt gets it down low. Here's his first shot right here, coach, and he got it.
There you go. Well, they did a great job recognizing the mismatch on the switch. And Ognacevic did a great job, Dan, of not trying to do too much. Turn and shoot before a double team could come. He gets it over the top of Lipsy.
And he's really good at that turnaround jump shot.
He certainly is, especially to that right shoulder.
Iowa State, 4th consecutive year in the NCAA tournament. 13-7 in the Big 12. Jones jabbing, stutter stepping, and getting the 2.
He can really score. They did a great job on the closeout there to run him off the three-point line. But he's just a guy who can score in so many ways.
But what a patient drive. He got inside the three-point line, he hesitated, and then he drew the defense sort of relaxed, and he went right after.
Asman from outside, can't get it. Lipsy got a hand on it, retrieves it, and then retaken back. Anderson got it. Ognacevic.
Well, there you go now. They've knocked down 3 threes. Anderson starting that with the steals. He's 16th in the country in steals. Got very, very quick hands.
And that's what they want to do. Not only shoot the 3, but shoot the 3 in transition before that defense can get set.
Powell's on Jones. Screen there by Jackson. Swerving to the line. The 15-footer will drop for Curtis Jones. 6th man of the year. Coach talked about it. 1st team all-conference and coming off the bench. What performances.
Yeah, look, you don't see too many guys who lead their team in scoring and make 1st team all Big 12
Pruitt
coming off
sneaks
the
in.
bench.
Anderson with a 3.
Great ball movement, and their passing is what did it. It forced the defense into the lane, and then you kick it out. And Anderson's an outstanding three-point shooter.
Yeah, it was the most outstanding player in the Atlantic Sun tournament.
Jackson couldn't hold on to it. With a turnover and a timeout. With the Bisons on an 11-4 run. Ognacevic with a nice spinner right there. Then they get the 3 for the former Furman Paladin, who's played in the tournament before. Anderson knows all about the pressure. Lipscomb up by 1. Well, we're just into the 2nd day. All the teams seeded 1 through 4 have won. St. John's and Patino getting the win. They'll meet Calipari and the Razorbacks, which will be a beauty coming up tomorrow. Moments ago, our Lauren Shahadi caught up with the Iowa State head coach, TJ Otzelberger.
Coach, you're scoring inside. How do you limit them outside?
Well, you got to do a great job of their offensive possessions. When we're scoring and they're taking out the net, then they're playing against our set defense and don't have as much flow or pace to their offense. So we got to do a great job getting stops down there, or getting baskets down there. That'll lead to us getting stops down here.
Appreciate it, Coach.
Thanks.
Lauren, we thank you. Lipscomb has made 6 of their last 8. Anderson on top. Shot clock at 5. Kelderman will defend. And contorting inside. Can't get it to go. Rebound, Momcilovic. And out of bounds, it'll be Iowa State's ball.
And that's exactly what TJ Otzelberger was just talking about. You know, you make them play against the set defense, and even though it looked like they might have had an opportunity, the size really pushed them back out. And so here they're up against the shot clock, and they can't score.
Well, no, and Anderson's a guy now that's got to take over a little bit because he's playing against the walk-on, Cade Kelderman.
Momcilovic knocks it in from outside from Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He won 3 straight state championships there at Milwaukee High School, and it's a white 3 from the corner. It's a rebound, lassoed by Chatfield.
Well, that's what Chatfield's given him off the bench. He's a great rebounder, physical presence, great block out right there.
He's played at Washington State, Seattle, and now he's with this program in Ames. What a dive! What a 2! Nate Heisey gets it to go.
Now, Heisey may not be Keyshawn Gilbert, but he is a pretty good player. He was third-team All-MVC at Northern Iowa last year.
Yeah, good player at Northern Iowa in the Valley. You're exactly right. And halfway through the first half. And the miss by Lipscomb. Out of bounds it goes. There's a whistle inside, and there is a quick foul called. And I think it went on Miles White. It did for the Bisons. His first.
Well, this is what you're talking about here. You're watching the play develop, and then you just drive to the basket. Ognacevic he goes out there. He can't guard Heisey. Heisey recognizes it's the big guy and goes right by.
Well, and Iowa State's big guys inside do a great job sealing their men so they couldn't help, as Chatfield did right there, let Heisey get all the way to the rim.
Long shot will drop. Beautiful three. 8-0 run. Iowa State.
Well, that's Momcilovic's already his third three. His confidence is very, very high right now.
That's a Pruitt three from the corner. Rebound by Heisey. Lipsy, a former Mr. Iowa basketball, sifting through traffic. Chatfield trying to dance. Jefferson on top. Makes a move, pounding his way inside. With a foul, it will be called on the Bisons, on Lipscomb. Want to remind you, get complete coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Tournament on NCAA.com.
One of the problems for this Lipscomb defense is if they let Lipsy get inside, then that's going to really be a problem. He gets steps inside the defense, and Momcilovic, he's been playing very well of late, as you mentioned, Stan.
Momcilovic knocks it in right
And there it is. I love when guys respond to us over here, Dan, make us look good. But Momcilovic's confidence is so high. That's a difficult shot. There's nothing more that Will Pruitt can do defensively, especially with the size advantage.
Anderson with the three. Rebound hauled down by Jackson. Jefferson the other way. Momcilovic will try to carve his way. Ognacevic was right there. Oh, what a fake. What a scoop. What a score. It's a 12-0 run by the Cyclones. Momcilovic making a move and a spin, finding the points down low for the Cyclones.
Well, Milan Momcilovic has had a great first half. You know, he missed 7 weeks. He missed 7 games, excuse me, because of an injury. And Iowa State stumbled during that time. You can see why. He can shoot the three. What great footwork. He can get inside. Lipscomb is having a hard time matching up with him.
Yeah, Momcilovic had a left hand injury, Stan. He missed those 7 games, as Dan was talking about. But they've got him back at the right time of the year.
Oh, they certainly do, and he's playing his best basketball. One of the marks of the best players, you got to play your best when your best is needed, and the NCAA tournament is certainly that.
Oh, they build a wall down low. Shot clock at 8, cutting inside. Williams can't get it. Jefferson was there, and here come the Cyclones. They've gone to the Sweet 16 2 of the past 3 seasons. Lipsy's got it.
We showed you that Lipscomb's struggling to score. You need to make that basket.
Absolutely. It was a great pass by
Jefferson. Look at him trying to work inside. Shoved out of bounds. Ball is out of play. 13 on the shot clock. Another timeout and 7:41 to go. It's the 3 seed on top of the 14 seed on TNT. Iowa State is out shooting Lipscomb 66 to 35% so far. The Bisons coached by Lenny Acuff. Moments ago, he was with our Lauren Shahadi.
Coach, they're in a rhythm on offense. How do you disrupt it?
Well, I mean, they're really playing well offense. They got 12 baskets, 9 assists, you know, so they're moving the ball. We just can't flinch, though. I mean, we got some good looks. We just didn't make them. Milan's killing us. He's playing really well. But long game, you know, we just need to get it to halftime. We need to trust what we're doing. We'll be fine.
Thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Stanley's been in the business 35 years, 6th year with the Bisons.
Yeah, he's won 640 college games, went to 11 NCAA Division II tournaments, at Alabama Huntsville. The people in the game know one of the best basketball minds there is.
We're going inside. Jefferson looking for Jackson, and there's the look in his first NCAA tournament for the ASUN Coach of the Year, Lenny Acuff. 22 years, Alabama Huntsville. 4 different schools. What a career.
Yeah, look, just an outstanding coach. I had the opportunity to spend a day with him probably 10 or 12 years ago as Momcilovic, Dan, is just too big for Pruitt, too tall.
Dan, he's
over
made,
the top.
He's made 11 of the last 12 baskets for this team.
Well, he's got a 5-inch height advantage against Pruitt, and even though Pruitt is very physical and very aggressive, there's just nothing he can do with that size.
14-0 run, Iowa State. Lipscomb has missed their last 6 shots.
Well, here's the second turnaround jumper he's had on Pruitt in the game. That little fadeaway going to the right shoulder. You said it, Dan. There's nothing Pruitt can do about that.
First foul of the game as Jones just picked it up for Iowa State.
And it's hard to double team him that far away from the basket because he can pass the ball, and so that you're going to leave somebody open.
Powell. Williams. That'll trickle in.
Boy, they needed that.
They sure do. I mean, look, they've got to take care of the ball, and they've got to make threes, and then they're going to have to find some way to limit Iowa State down at this end, but that's not going to be easy.
5 threes made so far inside. They get it to go, pulling the trigger. Deshaun Jackson.
And that time they did bring a double team, but Jefferson is such a good passer. If you're going to double team, you got to take away the passer's vision, and they didn't.
Agnaza, they can't put it down. Rebound Jackson, who played at Washington State. He was a starter at Charlotte. Now he's a Cyclone. Screen for Jones, finds some room. It's a rebound by Pruitt. They start 4 grad students with over 17 years of D1 experience for Lipscomb.
Well, and then Charlie Williams has 3 years of Division I experience as their 5th starter. Jefferson gets a steal, one of the higher steal guys in the country, and Lipscomb cannot afford that. It's hard enough, Dan, to stop them down here. You can't just give them points, something Lipscomb's been great at all year, but it's tough when you try to level up against opponents of this caliber.
Powell was driving down low, shoved and fouled by the Cyclones on the play.
Well, here it is, Jefferson in the passing lane. And this is where he's been great for Iowa State. He is a great facilitator and passer. And, you know, you're damned if you do, damned if you don't, Dan. If you're going to come and double, he's going to make those passes. If you don't, it's going to be tough to play him one-on-one. But I think they're going to have to let Agnasovic play Jefferson one-on-one some.
Well, particularly you can't have Anderson at 6 feet tall down inside trying to help out against the 6'11" Jackson.
Momcilovic, and it was knocked away and taken by Boylan. He'll fly the other way for the Bisons in a foul. With 4:57 to go in the first half, first round coverage of the NCAA Division I Women's Basketball Championship begins today on the ESPN family of networks. For more information on game times and listings, go to ncaa.com. That is foul number 2 on Momcilovic of Iowa State in white.
Well, and Kellen Boylan's a guy we don't see much of with Lipscomb. He has not played a whole lot. So Lenny Acuff's seen something that he needs out there to get him into the game.
He was a 2-year starter at Air Force, now transferring to the Bisons.
Yes, he was. And he's a good three-point shooter, and I think that's what Lenny Acuff is going for, although he prefer he make those free throws.
At least one of them.
And he's an 88% free throw shooter, too.
And Lenny Acuff trying to mix it up a little bit here. They go 2-2-1, even off the missed free throw. Back to the 2-3 zone, trying to give Iowa State a different look and take them out of that rhythm that Lauren was talking about when she talked to Coach Acuff.
We have 4.5 to play in the half. Heisey will drive, shot clock at 3. Momcilovic on the fly. Sheffield had a hand on it. It is off of the Cyclones.
One of the reasons you go to the zone is to try to prevent dribble penetration, which Iowa State was getting. Momcilovic got in there anyway.
He did. The one thing I do like with Lipscomb is when they have gotten Iowa State to miss, they've done a pretty good job on the glass.
Anderson inside. Asman kicks out to Boylan.
And that's Iowa State's defense we saw by Jones. They do not want the ball to get to the middle of the floor.
Well, they're doing a great job getting out on the three-point shooters, too.
Shot clock at 2. And Boylan is there again.
That is the first Lipscomb basket at the end of the shot clock, and they didn't look rushed there.
Jones a long 3. It's a rebound by Boylan. Here comes Anderson. Top 10 steals in the country. Powell. Asman intercepted. Momcilovic with the pick. Curtis Jones from Minneapolis, who played at Buffalo and now is a Cyclone. With a drive here by Kelderman.
Kelderman's been pressed into duty with the injury to Gilbert.
Nice fake. Momcilovic gets it to go. He averages 11 points a game already at 17 on the afternoon.
And I think that's another reason why Boylan was in the game. He's 6'7". He has the size to match up with Momcilovic.
Good point.
But he didn't that time.
Nope. They go inside. Another turnover. Jones driving inside and scoops it home.
They're just not going to be able to survive the turnovers at all, Dan.
And the lead building, 16-point advantage for Iowa State. It is their biggest lead. Momcilovic with a fake. He put on the brakes and got it to go. Then Jones swerving, flashing, and getting the deuce. Two experienced teams, 2 of the top 20 teams in scoring margin, but turnovers hurting the Bison stand, and they don't turn the ball over. They're number 14 in the country in that category.
Right, but that's the challenge now when you level up in a play against the Big 12. The athletes are bigger, stronger, quicker, and it's tough to take care of the ball. That's a great play. They love to get Will Pruitt isolated on the left wing for that baseline drive. They swing the ball, he gets a quick ice, and uncharacteristically, Iowa State doesn't get there to help.
Lipsy picks up his first.
And that's another thing they need to do. That's only their second basket on the inside.
Well, they're not going to get many in there, Dan. I mean, I'm just looking at the size of the players, and I'm saying, nah, that's not going to happen in there.
No, but you got to take what you can get. They had everybody out above the free throw line and gave them a chance to drive.
On the move, Jones. No, it's picked up by Powell. Points in the paint, 26-0 Iowa State. Powell aims, 3, no. Rebound collected by Jefferson.
That's the shot that has to go.
That's absolutely right, and that's how they have to play. They have to get out in transition. The one thing I really like from Lipscomb, though, we thought the defensive rebounding would be key as they play against a much bigger opponent, and they've done a great job on the defensive glass.
Deshaun Jackson picks up his first for Otzelberger's Cyclones, coming up AT&T at the half. We'll give you scores and highlights, plus the latest NCAA tournament news. All coming up on AT&T at the half. It's Anderson from Maryville, Tennessee. Williams working on Jackson. Ognacevic, shot clock at 10. Anderson on top. 40% three-point shooter, but goes inside, then back outside. Pruitt on the fly. Rebound, hauled in by Heisey.
That was great ball movement, though, by Lipscomb.
Yeah, but doesn't Pruitt have to squeeze off the three and not try to take that tough runner?
But Pruitt is a guy who wants to take the ball to the basket. The defense from Lipscomb stepping up a little bit here.
Anderson got the screen from Williams, and they quickly try to shuffle the defense out there, and they get him. Here's Powell. Charlie Williams, who played at William & Mary, into Powell. Rebound clutched onto by Lipsy.
That's the second back cut where they've missed the layup. Williams missed one, Powell missed one. They can't afford that, and then Heisey knocks down a 3 at the other end. It's a 5-point turnaround.
Well, not only did they miss it, but Powell fell down, so it's a 5-on-4 on the other end, and you're right, they get the 3.
Heisey's on Pruitt. who tries to penetrate inside with a whistle, and it's a foul. It'll go on Heisey. With 43 seconds to go in the first half.
That's a great pass by Williams on the back cut. But then they come back here. Now in transition, Dan, they move it, and Heisey knocks down the three. It's a big turn in the game right there.
Well, his teammates, Powell's teammates, have to help him out and recognize Powell, number 10. You saw him coming back into your picture late, and Heisey was his man.
It's Will Pruitt.
We always told guys, Dan, you don't have a man in transition. We've got to talk and match up. That's turnover number 7 for Lipscomb.
Well, Ognoxovic is not really going to drive through the entire defense very often with success.
Not through this defense. No. The 9th best defense in the country at Iowa State. And that's playing in probably the 2nd best league or 3rd best league in the country.
It's Jefferson. Shot clock at 2. And here comes Jones at 1. He's got a fire, hoisting it up, and it whistles out of bounds. Stream CBS Sports HQ, your free 24/7 snapshot of all the sports that matter to you. Catch highlights, in-depth analysis, breaking news anywhere, anytime that you are. Download the CBS Sports app to watch today. Halftime is here, and the lead for Iowa State, 40-24. It equals the biggest they've had. Lipscomb led by a point earlier on with a couple of lead changes in one time. Let's go to Lauren.
Whelan, fadeaways, threes. What the heck got into you in the first half?
I think I just saw the first couple go down, and then my whole game opened up. I'm taller than my defender, so just take my time in the post to get to my shot.
It seems like since the injury, the confidence is up. Is it?
Yeah, I would say just, a mental refresh after the injury. Coming in, knowing what I got to do. Just taking 4 weeks to really just watch this team and see how I can make an impact on this team.
Thanks for the time. Appreciate it. Kevin.
Chilovich, along with Iowa State, the 3rd best team in Division I in points off turnovers. And they're showing it in the first half. We'll take you to AT&T at the half after these messages. You're watching the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship. Beautiful day in Milwaukee. Right now, let's take a look at the Wendy's first half statistics. The Bison led by 1 after an 11-4 run that Iowa State went on a 14-0 run. And you've got the 16-point lead by the Cyclones out of the Big 12. Kevin Harlan, Stan Van Gundy, Dan Bonner will check in with Lauren Shahadi in just a second. First half thoughts.
Well, look, Iowa State, too big, too strong, too quick, and it was just tough. They were able to create turnovers from a Lipscomb team that doesn't usually turn it over.
And you mentioned their defense before the start of the game, Stan, and the Iowa State defense has been significant. And not only can't Lipscomb score on the inside, but as you said, they've been turning it over, and it's not a formula for success. If you turn it over and miss threes, you're in trouble against a team like Iowa State.
Well, yeah, and since TJ Otzelberger's been at Iowa State, they've been one of the best defensive teams in the country.
And let's swing it over to Lauren.
Kevin, Coach Lenny addressed his group at the half. He said it's a 6-point game without turnovers. If we play scared, this game is over. Last 10 minutes, that wasn't our offense at all. We're doing a decent job on their bigs. Not bad, he said, on the defensive glass. Coach Van Gundy called that before the half. And I just spoke with J.O. He said Milan is on another planet right now. He's our priority.
Lauren, we thank you. Here's the second half underway in Milwaukee. Williams, and they swing it around. Here is Pruitt. Williams will put up a 3. And the rebound by Lipsy.
That was a rush 3, though. Yeah, it wasn't the good open look that they hoped to get. Jackson was right up on that.
How about this? Largest halftime lead in school history in this tournament that this Iowa State team seems to be perennially in. With a drive here by Jackson into Williams.
I mean, that's just too much power in there. There's nothing Williams can do.
No, he just plays a little bully ball right there. Williams more of a finesse guy. Very skilled big guy, but not a power player like Jackson is.
Well, Jackson has him by 55 pounds.
Bison have put together 3 consecutive 20-win seasons. Little shot inside. will go through, and Ognacevic has got 6.
Well, and that's what Charlie Williams does. He can pass the ball. Finds Ognacevic there, and a rare opportunity in the paint for Lipscomb.
Make it 7. I didn't want to shortchange him. Across the lane, scooping it home. Taman Lipsey.
But he can really get in that lane, and he's got such a powerful build that he can survive when he gets in there.
Yeah, and all 3 of his buckets on drives.
Powell firing as he was fouled. Jefferson moves over there defending for the Cyclones. It is his first.
Well, just a little screen there by Jefferson. Williams so concerned with getting back to Jefferson that he lets Lipsey get to the rim.
Iowa State has not taken a free throw in this game, and the Bison are 3 of 5 from the stripe.
Well, that's one of the great things Lipscomb does, is they do not foul. 3rd in the nation in fewest fouls.
They're back in that 2-3 zone.
They've used that after free throws, going to that 2-2-1 soft press, try to take some time back into the zone.
Lipsey snuck it inside. Jackson was bumped. Ball knocked away. Turnover Cyclones. They got 6 of them. This Iowa State team has won 9 games by 25 points or more this season. That is the 4th most in Division I.
This is what they like. We talked about it earlier. Get Pruitt isolated on that left wing. That's the matchup they like, but Heisey did a good job on him now.
Ball knocked out. He prepared for history to be written in the 2025 Stanley Cup playoffs. NHL on TNT playoff coverage begins April 19th on TNT, TBS, and Max. Shot clock is at 7. Williams will make a move. Jackson is there. Pruitt has got it. Lipsey's on him. Shot clock at 1. And the rebound by Jackson.
Great defense. You said it a couple times in the second half, Dan. They're really getting out on the 3.
Lipsey into Pruitt with a gyrating move. It will not drop. Anderson's got it out on the floor. Powell on the wing. And Williams in the corner. Back to Pruitt.
I'm with you, Dan. Pruitt's got to shoot those open 3s.
I thought 2 guys passed up a 3 in transition. You got to take them.
Pruitt is a 4-year starter. Powell will try to work. Momcilovic is down there defending. It was tipped by Heisey. Momcilovic will gallop. Pruitt is there, and he'll put it off. Again on the doorstep. Couldn't get it to go.
Lipscomb's got to take advantage here.
Oops.
Yeah, Lipsey just ran him over.
Well, Anderson, he's taking the ball in transition and he stops. I think he surprised Lipsey by stopping.
That's a strong guy. You pointed it out a couple times, Dan. Lipsey is a strong guy. And now this is the guy they've tried to go at a little bit, Kelderman, and I think they've got to do that here. It's one of the few matchups where they can get an advantage.
Chatfield is in. Here's a pick right here. Kelderman the other way. Tried to get it! Oh, what an acrobatic move! Terrific play! Cade Kelderman.
Well, maybe not.
Well, Williams threw him the ball. You could almost give Williams an assist on that, but what a great play for Cade Kelderman, a walk-on playing in the NCAA tournament, to get that steal, take it down and score, and a chance at a three-point play.
Co-champions of the Atlantic Sun regular season. First time in 6 years for the team in purple. And they go inside. They get the 2. Asman puts it through. He's got his first bucket of the game.
Not very many inside points for Lipscomb today.
Over and back.
Well, this is where, look, Nate Heisey has stepped in and done a great job playing for Keyshawn Gilbert, but where it really hurts Iowa State is they just don't have a lot of depth in the backcourt, and now they're having to resort to a walk-on. And Kate Kelderman's done an admirable job when they've played him, but it really does hurt your depth.
Ognacevic lost the ball, and back in the game you can see Jones orchestrating, driving, and he'll try to figure it out. Finagling his way and back out. Here's a three. It's off. Rebound, lunging for the ball was Chatfield. With 15:35 to go in the second half. It's the 14-seed Bison and the 3-seed Cyclones on TNT. Great to have you on board here, Jamie. 20th win for Scott Drew's Baylor Bears. They've lost in the second round, 3 consecutive tournaments. Now they're going to gear up for a game on Sunday. Pruitt the other way.
And another thing that the Iowa State defense has done is they've taken Anderson out of the game.
A bump on the wing. It's Kelderman who picks up number 1. Watch whip-around coverage of all men's games with Fast Break, presented by Nissan in the March Madness live app.
Well, if you're Kelderman, you have to know Anderson's coming back to that right hand. He wants to have that left to right crossover all the time. You got to really tune in the scouting report, particularly if you're a walk-on guy and a little bit overmatched. You got to use your head and really know what's going on.
Shot clock at 4. Ognacevic kicks it out. Anderson ends up with it with a 3. Rebound lassoed inside by Jefferson. He's got 4.
And that may not have been a picture-perfect play, but it was a tremendous open shot, and that's just haven't made enough of them with the Bison.
They were 4 of their first 7, and now 1 of their last 10.
Jones, Jefferson, Kelderman 3. Oh, wow! Biggest lead for the Cyclones.
Well, it's just a great pass, too. Kelderman knocked it down, but Jefferson, that's what he has really brought to this team, is his ability to make plays.
Kelderman only had 3 total points coming into this game all season long, and he hit a 3 right there. And he's playing some big-time minutes for the Cyclones in this first-round matchup. Jones will take it on the fly. Rebound is collected nicely by Chatfield. They reset their offense.
Well, Chatfield's just an outstanding rebound.
Anderson, he's got guys on the side, and including trying to get it into Asman. It's lost and dug out there by Momcilovic. Jones starting, stopping, cutting, driving.
Jones is a guy who really hunts his shot, and he has not shot the ball well today. There was no way he was doing anything else in transition but shooting that ball.
No, but TJ Otzelberger, that's what he wants from Jones, is he's given him the ultimate green light. He wants him to come in and look for his shot and to score. That's a heck of a move right there.
It is a great move, and here what you're talking about, the pass all the way across the court to Kelderman. And yeah, you can celebrate. That's a really good play for a walk-on in an NCAA tournament game.
But Jefferson, just such a good passer. Now Jones gets a steal. And
such patience. Wow. It's Powell, Lipsy back in.
You know, Jones, it just seems to me like he hadn't been really hot, but he's in double figures.
Pruitt with a 3. And Lipsy's got the rebound.
Well, he's got up 11 shots in 12 minutes, Dan. That'll get you in double figures.
That's what he's supposed to do.
That's
bouncing
right.
Inside, Lipsy. Timeout, Lipscomb. 9-0 Iowa State run. The Cyclones have their biggest lead today.
Iowa State defense just taking over, and everything's at the rim.
Back in Milwaukee, it's time for It Takes More, presented by Powerade.
And that's what Iowa State has been doing. They've been taking more. They've been taking more possessions because they've generated turnovers. And when you did, Tom Izzo calls these pick sixes. You generate the turnover, results in a basket down on the other end. And Lipscomb is a team that gives up the 5th fewest fast break points in the country, 5 a game. And Iowa State already has 11.
Well, and a lot of it's the turnovers. I always felt the #1 defensive key. You want to be a good defensive team, the biggest thing you do defensively, don't turn the ball over on offense. Take care of the ball. You've got no answer when you throw the ball away. There's no defense for the pick six.
That's a 3, and it's off that time. Ognacevic couldn't get it. Lipsy has it right now. Out there, Curtis Jones with him. Heise's on the floor. Screened by Jefferson. Momcilovic in the corner. That's the 5 for the Cyclones through traffic. Jones on the flight. Jefferson grabs it inside, and the foul. At the 12:09 mark of the second half.
Well, now he didn't score right there, but Jones can score in so many different ways. He can make threes. He really is good at getting in the lane. That floater game of his is excellent.
Well, and his drive created the offensive rebound. So Jefferson's at the line. Nothing on the stat sheet for Jones, but the drive creates this offensive rebound and the opportunity for Joshua Jefferson.
Upcoming is only the 3rd free throw attempt for the Cyclones today, and they get the 3rd one to finally drop.
Well, and they're a team that really bases their offense on getting to the free throw line. They want to drive to contact. They get to the line a lot, but Lipscomb's a team that does not foul much and has done a good job in that part of it today.
Well, it's hard to foul when you're chasing guys dribbling the ball down the court.
It's a solid point, Dan.
Pruitt on top. Shot clock at 4. Ognacevic will take it in hard. Got it. And was fouled. Foul goes on Heise for the 2nd time. The 6'8" senior from Sheboygan Lutheran. The Bison in the first 8.5 minutes had 4 threes. In the last almost 20 minutes of play, they have had just 1.
And here's the athletic director at Lipscomb, Philip Hutchison, one of the greatest college players ever. When Lipscomb was an NAIA school, he scored over 4,000 career points. But how we know him, Dan, you and I were talking about it earlier, legendary coach Don Meyer, known throughout the basketball world for making coaching instructional tapes, over 40 of them. Philip Hutchinson was in most of them, and he told me yesterday, yeah, we provided a lot of free labor for Coach Meyer.
On top, Jefferson. Ognacevic will defend. It's poked away. It's out of bounds. Shot clock at 15.
Now, a couple of situations, a couple of times in the game, Lipscomb has had some success with double team in the post. But for the most part, Iowa State has really moved the ball well.
Lipsy will inbound to Jones. Pass Pruitt and right to the hole.
Well, you can't just get out of his way. Guy's a leading scorer, and Powell just stepped out of the way there. That one will not make anyone in the Lipscomb faithful very happy.
An Atlantic Sun team has not made it out of the first round in 6 years. Powell on top. Shot clock down to 6. Anderson working on Heise. Off to Powell. Shot clock at 2. The desperation 3, and it's out. Shot clock violation.
So again, a contested 3. Stand there. Now 1 for their last 14 shooting threes. And this is the play you're talking about. He just tips it away, does Jones. And there's no question about what he's going to do, and everybody just gets out of the way.
We used to call that a dodge. We would chart those and let our players know, a dodge. He just dodged out of the way.
A shot by Momcilovic. It's Pruitt to Anderson. It's an open three.
Got to make those.
Yep.
You got to make those anyway, but especially if you're in a game like this and you're Lipscomb and they just haven't been able to convert.
Anderson took that one. 4 starters have played and started in every single game for the Bisons this year.
Kevin, I asked Coach about Curtis Jones, who's usually the 6th man, and he corrected me real quick. He said he is not our 6th man. He is our 6th starter, plays starter minutes, jolt off the bench. And I asked Jones yesterday what he prefers. He said the only thing I'm missing coming off the bench usually is hearing my name called right before the game, which is pretty cool, but I can live with it.
Good stuff, Lauren.
Boy, here's his name called an awful lot over the PA system after he scores.
Nice spin move, but now triple team. Good find! Heisey was there. Momcilovic with the assist.
Well, Lipscomb's trying to double from the baseline side, but they let Momcilovic spin to the middle, and so it was easy for him to find the open man.
Powell will dance and go inside and find Anderson. And it's back in the corner, and a long shot will drop right there. Good hit, Miles White. He's a junior from Kansas City, Rockhurst College transfer, and he puts one down.
That's the first 3 since early in the game. Oh, what a
Good.
pass.
Another great feed by a big man. That one came off the fingertips of Jefferson.
Joshua Jefferson can really make plays. He is the key, in my opinion, to this Iowa State offense. His ability to not only score some himself, but to create plays for his teammates.
Ognacevic double, sheds and fires the 2. Another rebound collected by Jefferson. He's got 8 of them. Another nice game for him. He averages 7. He goes inside, driving on Ognacevic in a foul.
Stan, you talked about his ability as a passer, and he just takes one dribble. Anderson looks at the dribbler, turns his back on Heisey, and Heisey's wide open.
Now, Heisey's an outstanding cutter.
So Jefferson at the line, 78%. He has played and started every single game for the Cyclones this season. We mentioned earlier that size, not hard to miss. His dad played in the NFL, Ben Jefferson, with Cleveland, the Raiders, the Colts, played in the Canadian Football League after he played college football at Maryland. And Joshua, who grew up in Las Vegas, played a couple years at St. Mary's, now a Cyclone and a terrific asset to one of the best programs in the country.
Oh, absolutely. And look, they did a good job this year in the transfer portal. They got 4 key guys, Dan. They got Jefferson and Jackson, they call them the presidents, up front. And then they got Heisey and Chatfield, who are both in the game right now, who have added to that team.
Anderson again. Again, he went to Furman, played in that big win. And here's a Pruitt 3. Missed it all and picked up by White, who cleans it up and puts it back up and in.
That's an assist for Pruitt.
Yes, it is.
I'm going to give him an assist
Good.
on that. That was a
his
pass.
numbers.
He found the guy over there on the side.
Jones will dance and fire. Chatfield has the ball. Back on top.
Chatfield is some offensive rebounder, and Lipscomb, you know, you'll take a basket any way you can get. White is underneath the basket, nobody's there, the ball doesn't hit anything, goes right to White. That really looked like a pass.
It did. I'm giving him an assist on that. He's earned it. The guy's been here for 5 years at Lipscomb. We can give him an assist.
Anderson again, wheeling his way. Williams for 3. White will get the rebound and out of bounds and shove with a whistle, and 7:53 to go in this first round matchup with Iowa State and Lipscomb. Great stuff, Jamie. Thank you. Under 8 to go. Lipsy will weave and kick. White is on Jefferson. Here's Kelderman. On the fly. And that's a foul on Iowa State. With 7:34 to go, and the foul on Chatfield.
Well, here it is. Iowa State, we know, playing without Keyshawn Gilbert. Hasn't been a big factor today. But going forward, even into Sunday, both North Carolina and Mississippi have 3 good guards each. They will miss Keyshawn Gilbert in that game.
Well, without any question, we mentioned that Heisey is a very good player from Northern Iowa, but he's not a first team, second team, all Big 12 guy like Gilbert.
Oh, the look away! Hey! Nice play! Lipsy feeds inside for 2.
Well, and that's Chatfield's first basket, but he's made an impact on this game. 4 rebounds, and his physical play inside has really helped him.
Well, 2 of those 4 rebounds are offensive rebounds. He's a really good offensive rebounder.
Turnover, Williams threw it wide. Watch this one again.
Well, again, it starts with their defense off the turnover. And then Lipsy making the great pass. But that's 14 turnovers for Lipscomb, a team that averages fewer than 10 a game.
Lipsy, who played at Ames High School. State champs. Best player in the state when he came out. He was first team all-conference last year. And he was second on the defensive side. And there's a 3 going in from outside. Momcilovic puts that up and through. Lipsy is some kind of player.
Yes, he is, Kevin. It's a family affair for Lipsy at Iowa State. His dad, Robert, works in student support services. His mom, Holly, is a kinesiology professor. His mom has tried many times to get Taman to take her class. He said, no way. That class is way too hard. I know you. You're not going to give me an A. A quarter, by the way, to anyone who can tell me what kinesiology is. Coach, Stan, Kevin, anyone?
Well, come on.
Listen,
here.
it's the science of movement.
Yeah.
And I took it in college, Lauren.
Excuse me.
At Brockport State, which is basically the Harvard of the SUNY system.
Is that so?
Hold on. Now.
It's the Harvard of the SUNY system. I took kinesiology, and he's right. It is a difficult class.
It is the interdisciplinary study of human movement and its impact on health and well-being, to be exact, Coach.
Well,
Okay.
his parents were athletes.
Everyone knows that.
His mom played volleyball. His dad played college football at Southwest Minnesota State. And so they know exactly the atmosphere where their son, Taman, plays in.
He doesn't need to take that class. He moves pretty well anyway.
That's exactly right. There's a nice pass there.
That was.
Ognoxovic getting a very rare, easy opportunity inside.
Bison began the season 2 of 4. Then they won 23 of their last 28 to make it here. Jefferson. He'll work on Charlie Williams across the lane with great diligence.
Well, look, Dan talked about it earlier in the game. You can double team, and then he makes the pass. You don't double team. He uses his strength and just easily gets into the middle for a shot.
Here's Pruitt. Ognoszewicz. Nice 3.
And that's the way they would like to play. Get the ball inside, cause the defense to collapse, kick it out for a 3. Just not nearly enough of that.
Well, they've run into one of the best defensive teams in the country.
Led by this kid who's the all-time Iowa State steals leader. Lipsy.
Absolutely.
Lipsy is the guy and playing well, even in the absence of Keyshawn Gilbert, who has a groin injury and is out for this season. They're filling the void and winning here in the first round. 13 talented bakers compete in the ultimate spring showdown. Who can bring the magic to make delicious desserts? All new Spring Baking Championship Mondays at 8 on Food Network. I was wondering what I was going to do when this tournament's over. Now I know.
Are you going to get in the contest,
I'm going to watch and eat
No,
at
he's
the
going
same
to
time.
eat. He's going to eat the results.
Okay.
He's going to be a judge.
I like that better, actually.
I wish I could be a judge. Jefferson. Jones across the lane. Outside with 1 to fire. The 3 won't drop that time on a long one by Momcilovic. And Anderson racing the other way. Kelderman will meet him. Ognacevic will drive inside on Jackson.
It's a pretty good job by Jackson to move his feet.
Here's Pruitt. Outside three will go down. Powell will put it through.
That's his third three of the game. They needed a lot more of that today, though, and weren't able to get it. They're only 8 for 26.
Well, the other thing they needed, Stan, was to really get out in transition, and Iowa State just hadn't allowed them to do that.
Little shake and bake here, put up by Jefferson outside. Momcilovic, three.
You know, I think when Jefferson gets the ball, he's looking to pass before he shoots it.
He averages 3 assists a game. And he's a big rascal inside. He can do a lot. Hit the boards, feed the players, score himself. All a part of Iowa State's big-time lead over Lipscomb.
The Cyclones have 18 assists, and some of them have, well, they've been clever. That's not bad. Some of them have been really good-looking. And then some of them have been spectacular. So Iowa State, they've put it together. They're able to get out and run. And even in the half court, they've done a great job passing the ball. Jefferson has 7 assists of the 18.
Well, we've talked about him a lot today, Dan. He's the guy who really makes the offense go, in my opinion. He can do so many things. He can get down in the post and back in. He can play as a point forward. He can lead the break. He can pass with either hand.
And Pruitt is at the free throw line.
Kevin, it's a Lipscomb power couple, right? Will Pruitt, who they call Mr. Lipscomb, as you said, and Lipscomb women's star Jalen Holcomb. He proposed at Allen Arena February 25th of this year. Jalen and the women's team played last night at Western Illinois in the WNIT. They lost, so she couldn't make the trip. The first thing she said when he asked for her hand in marriage was, "Did you ask my dad?" And then all of a sudden the lights of the arena flicked on and there was her entire family giving thumbs up.
What a great story. Thank you, Lauren. That's terrific. Nice moment for him. There's a foul called on the Bison. Yeah, Will Pruitt went to Mount Juliet High School in Mount Juliet, Tennessee. He was a 3-time champion, finalist for the 3A Mr. Basketball. And Jalen said yes.
Well, I hope those lights came on really fast because, as Lauren said, she didn't say yes right away. Did you ask my dad? Boy, that's not what you want to hear.
It's not the first thing you should say.
No.
Maybe, son, don't tell my dad.
Okay, Kevin, just because that's what your wife said, that doesn't happen all the
time. Here comes Anderson. They make the switch, and Jefferson's on him. Pruitt's got it, the kid who just got engaged. And down low to the big man, but he draws a lot of traffic. Got it to go. Ognacevic puts it through and belts it on the play. 3 to go in the game.
It has been a struggle today because Ognacevic has really had to battle inside against bigger guys. But his numbers are going to end up looking pretty good.
Yeah, they are, and they got the switch there, and a little bit of a mismatch with Cade Kelderman on him down there in the post. But Heisey had no pressure on the ball. He'll see that on the film, I'm sure, when they go over this. When you have that mismatch down low in particular, you've got to have ball pressure and make the entry harder than what Heisey made it.
Is it a Jefferson to Jones? Long 3, bullseye.
There's Jefferson again. He catches the ball. The first thing he's looking to do is pass it.
He's got 8 assists. That matches his career high.
He's got 8 assists, and that was Curtis Jones' first made 3. And Jones is actually, it seems quiet, and he's put up his 17-point average.
Curtis Jones leads him in 3-point shots made. Powell triple.
Well, we talk about Jefferson and his ability to pass the ball, and it's very interesting. Watch as he catches the ball. His first look is right there. He's not even turning and looking at the basket. He's looking at Curtis Jones. And think about his numbers today. He's got 9 points. He's got 8 assists. He's got 8 rebounds.
That's an Anderson triple. Rebound Heisey. Nate Heisey's from Lake City, Minnesota. Played, as Coach mentioned earlier, 4 years at Northern Iowa. Pruitt.
He committed that foul so they could have subs.
That's good to see. Kids playing in the NCAA tournament, this is the thrill of a lifetime.
Well, and the Iowa State fans are even rising up to give these Lipscomb kids a standing ovation. We said those guys have played a lot of Division I games and have served them proud, and now both teams subbing, and all of these kids getting a standing ovation.
Kevin?
Yeah,
you're on your own.
I know it. Here we go. Jack Ingold is checked in for Lipscomb. Also out there is Rylan Hauk. He's been playing a little bit. Logan Subban is in. And let me see here as we go shifting through all the... Boylan is in. Who am I missing? Oh, Candelino is in. Ross Candelino, a junior from Jacksonville, Florida. He's come in the game. And out there for the Cyclones coming in, Indrusitis has checked in for the first time. Kelderman on the floor. Caden Fish is in the contest. JT Rock is in the game, along with Damarian Watson. Kids who work all year long like the starters. Here's a three. Kelderman can't get it. With the rebound taken by Hauk. Here's Subban. Hauk. Logan Subban. And they take it in and grabbed right there by Watson. He'll gallop. And the trailing Rock knocked away. Boylan has it. With a drive. Oh, and a rejection inside by Fish. He's a freshman from Kansas City and swats it away.
This game has gotten a little chaotic.
Oh, but right there, Fish will swim for two.
Well, Fish got the block. Now Fish gets the bucket. And here it is. Fish just picks up the loose ball, beats everybody to it, and gets it in, and now we'll go to the free throw line.
Luke Carter has also checked in the game, number 12 for the Bison. He's a walk-on. And Fish, who's playing in his 10th game all season, puts in his 3rd point today, 6th point of the season.
I'll tell you, that's a quick move by Suber there. I mean, great first step.
Lauren?
Kevin, you mentioned number 9. That's Jack Ingold. It was his lifelong dream to be on this team, became the manager to get close to the program, sent coach video after video pleading his case to play for him. Coach said, fine, you want to be a walk-on? Here's a list of 50 things you need to know. And he did all of them. He rewarded him with a scholarship.
50 things. I'm assuming that was not an easy list, Lauren, of 50 things.
Not at all.
No.
He says we're not here without Jack. He's our heartbeat. I'm wondering to myself, Kevin, how many Jacks are there in this tournament?
Yes. Suber back at the line, and he puts it in. He's from Fredericksville, Virginia. And here he found out that he got the chance to be on the team. You think it means something to these kids?
Absolutely, and Suber pressures Indrusitis into a turnover. Suber's a guy who has played some during the year, and I think they've got big plans for him going forward. True point guard, got great quickness.
He redshirted last season, so this is his freshman year. Carter makes a move and doubled and out of bounds. Indrusitis was there defending. The Cyclones are going to advance as the 3 seed. Hawley's got it. He had some shoulder issues earlier on. He's in, and it won't go. Tap in, try, no. Rock is in there once, twice, and got it to go. JT Rock out of Sioux Falls, South Dakota. 9th game he's played all season. Suber's playing and has it and feeds. And Fish has got it again. And pickpocketed right there. Carter. And inside, Ingold puts it up and in.
Well, that's a fitting way, at least for Lipscomb, to end it, is have that kid get a bucket in the NCAA tournament.
From student manager to walk on, and now he plays, and that's it. A lot of emotion. And regardless, a successful season for the Bison, who come to this tournament for the first time in 7 years, and only the second time in the history of their program at the Division I level. Whereas Iowa State, their largest margin of victory in their NCAA tournament history. They win it, and now they prepare for the winner of Ole Miss and North Carolina. That's coming up. $18 points for Ognacevic, and then for the Iowa State side, 20. Momcilovic, 10 apiece. Jefferson, Lipsy, 17. There's some terrific play by Curtis Jones, again off the bench, and leading the way with an 8-15 afternoon. But there's Jefferson, tying a career high in assists. Lauren?
Milan, congratulations. Think about it, 23 miles from where we're standing right now. Your earliest basketball memories. What's it like to do this here?
I mean, it's surreal to come back home, play March Madness here where a lot of people can come and watch me play. I mean, it's crazy because my closest game from home in the last 2 years was probably DePaul, which is 2 hours away. Now it's 20 minutes, and it's a great moment to have, and I'm glad I played well today.
You said you played very well. You said you hated your time away from injury. How did it make you dream of moments like this?
I'm sorry, say it again.
Your time away from injury, it was tough for you. How did it make you dream of this?
Just going through that, having that adversity. I mean, just taking time away from the game, having a lot of ups and downs throughout the season. So staying level-headed at the biggest moments is big.
The game of life in basketball. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Kevin.
Iowa State by 27. They move on to the round of 32. Tournament games continue live now on CBS, True TV, and TBS. North Carolina will take on Ole Miss coming up on TNT. We'll send you to our studio for the Capital One Tournament Central after these messages.